All right, so back to this play that I was referring to. I'm going to put a circle around, I believe, where we're looking at. It's about right in this area. I think it might be that guy that's going to get hit in the back. So what we're looking at here is a return team on the left in white, kicking team on the right in black. You're going to see where I do that circle. It looks like the receiver is watching his teammate catch the ball, not really paying attention, and you'll see him get blown up from behind as the kicking team player is going towards the return man. And I thought this is the play that the coach was barking about. As it turns out, this crew flagged this. And yet I'm wondering if this should be a foul. Now that you guys have seen where I'm looking, I'm just going to let it play through. I don't like that the kicker went through him and blew him up with his hands. It looks to me like he didn't avoid him at all. I don't know if I can slow this down for you at all, but the contact is about the 32-yard line right there. But does the kicking team have to go around a return team player that's got his back turned to him, not really doing anything?
Yeah, I would say that's a block in the back, but
I was just going to say the same. I don't think he needs to necessarily go around him, but you can't just plow over through the back of him like that either.
Yeah, what about a defenseless player?
I hear you talking, but you know what? Is it the kicking team's job to go around a stupid receiver player that is just standing in the way?
In this case, yes, I believe it is.
So if you lined up 11 or 10 receivers with their backs to the kicking team, does the kicking team have to run around those players? The answer is yes, and I think you're either, I don't know if it's a block in the back. I guess that's what it looks like. You could call it unnecessary roughness too if you wanted. I see Sotelo says you can't. Sotelo says you can't blow him up, and that's kind of what it looks like. I think if there was any attempt to, when the hands go up like that, I always talk to players, especially when they're rushing the quarterback, you can control your hands on a dime. You can't control your momentum and your legs to stop you immediately before the pass is released. And that's why we give them a little grace, a two-step issue. But if somebody's coming into the quarterback and they hit the quarterback, but they lift up their arms up into the head or they give them a shove, you can stop that. That's an intentional thing. Maybe in this case, it looks like it should be more than just a runner trying to get around somebody, because he does kind of blow him up with his arms up into the air and his shoulder into the back. But I hate to reward a foolish return player for just standing in the way, not doing anything.
But he had like 7 yards to avoid that guy. If you're look back, look how far he had 7 yards to go around that guy before he made contact. He had plenty of space to go around him.
Hey, Scott, the coach said stay in your lane. That guy was in his lane.
No, come on, Russell. How can you say that? Plain and simple here. It's just a kid's opportunity to take a cheap shot, and we're going to allow that? No way.
That sounds like Don Bass voice. Hey, I'm just throwing out some conflict here to see if we can generate some conversation. All right. I don't know that I believe in what I say every time, and in this case, I probably would flag it as well. Probably because of the intensity of the hit, but if that guy just tries to go around him and he bumps into his back, I got no flag.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that.
Exactly. This is a little more than that. You'd mentioned that, you don't want to reward a dumb kid for standing in the way. I don't think that's what we're doing here. I think we're punishing the other player for what appears to me to be an intentional move. Scott Summerfeld mentioned it. You can run around this player. He has the opportunity to avoid that contact. Instead, it looks like he intentionally aims for the back of him. I've got a flag all day long with this.
He didn't have to hit. He didn't have to hit him in the first place. It's not even at the angle to where the runner's at.
Well, it actually turned out to be a good block because the runner got around him. All right, let's see what else. How we doing, Randy?
19 seconds.
We're getting close.
I think I would almost give that a blindside block and get a 15-yarder instead of a 10-yarder.
You can still do personal foul, unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, you can do an UNR on that. What did I have here? Oh, we talked about this the other day in our pregame. Well, one more and then we'll jump over. So this is an interesting, we've got a bobbled ball in the end zone. So you see the receiver, a lot of times we have this like a natural reaction that contact in the neutral zone should be flagged. And when I was watching this play, you can see the receiver, he does not have a firm grip on that football in the end zone. A hit by the defender at the right time there would jar that ball loose. And so I guess I'm just pointing out on this play, a coach might say, hey, why is he hitting us in the end zone? Well, that receiver didn't have that ball until right before he was hit by that defender. So we don't always just protect. We don't treat that scoring receiver as glass until he for sure has that ball controlled. So that thing could have been jarred loose by a good hit in the end zone. It's a fine line there with what's unnecessary and what because that the defender actually, you can see him kind of plead guilty to contact in the end zone, when in reality, I think it was a warranted shot. All right, Randy, is it time to start talking money line?
Yep, it just ended.
All right, so you guys hear me talk a lot about money line, and I think as we're getting closer and closer to playoffs, the importance of being in the right place at the right time when it comes to a money line. And we talk a lot about it being the goal line. In this particular play, you can see the wing, the ball is snapped inside the 5. I think I've seen enough statewide film to see that we're doing much better than this than we used to. But this ball is snapped at, say, the 4.5. Wing gets to the goal line. It is short of the goal line, comes in hard, has a good spot, and we're ready. So emphasize we shouldn't go any further. The money line in this case is the goal line. If we're snapping inside the 5, wings get to the goal line at the snap. Don't wait for anything else. Move to the goal line so that we're in great position. We'll have to officiate the play from the pylon, because that goal line is the thing that the coaches send us film that says, how did you not see that this ball crossed the goal line? Or how did you not see that the line to gain was met? And our response is our wings are supposed to move to the money line when it's a critical spot. And so this is what we're typically doing. I think I see this throughout the state. We're doing a good job at this. If we're snapped between the 5 and the 10-yard line, or whenever the back judge gives up the goal line, sometimes it's the 11. I wouldn't want to do it outside the 12 to give up the goal line. But in this case, let's say it's snapped at the 10, the wing should try to stay ahead of the runner. That doesn't mean we immediately bolt to the goal line, because we're going to lose a lot of time officiating information if we try to go 10 yards before the ball crosses the goal line or it brings us back. So in this case, this wing would go to the goal line, and if the tackle was made at the 2, moves back to the 2, and we're good to go. We covered the goal line. We can set it up at the 2. Nobody's going to complain about the spot at the 2 when we were really focused on that goal line. So here's a play where now we're starting to watch some of the opposite things. So here we've got second down and about 4.5. We don't have a money line on second down. There's a line to gain, but it's not a really important component of this play because they would still have third down regardless to try to gain the 1st and 10. So in this case, I would expect the wings to stay home, run pass, go ahead and read your tackle, stay home, trail the play, get a good spot if it does get to the line to gain. And so what we're seeing here is right at the snap, the wing at the top leaves the line of scrimmage and starts walking towards the line to gain. The wing at the near side moves at the snap also and hops. And we don't like the hopping. The bouncing eyes are never good. So I would encourage, if you're one of these guys that hops, get smooth like the guy at the top of the screen. Be smooth, but stay at the line of scrimmage until that ball gets by you, because there's a chance that this action right here is going to be right into your belly. Okay? So it's 2nd down. Therefore, we don't have a money line. Let's stay behind this runner. Get a good spot. So this is not what we want. Either wing, and you can see this this wing is focused on the line to gain, probably too soon. He's got players out of bounds. He's got a player in the bench. Got to have your eyes up and in the bench. So that's what we don't want. So now we're going to look at a money line. So now we got 4th down in A territory, which actually, if it was 3rd down in A territory, we'd have a money line. But in this case, it's in A territory and it's 4th down. So we've got a money line. And a lot of crews are using different methods of communicating. Hey, we've got a line to gain issue, whether it's a money line, it's radios, it's just to reference the line to gain is at whatever. But at this particular play, we've got 4th down. I want to see that wing, that head linesman and the line judge get to that line to gain at the snap. This one moves pretty quick. It's obvious that he knows he wants to get to the line to gain at the snap. Sets up, happens to go beyond that. As long as they get beyond it, nobody really cares if that spot is perfect. Once they get a yard past that, there's no questioning. We're not going to measure. Nobody's going to complain about the spot. But we are in perfect position right here. We're set. We're waiting for that ball to cross that money line, and that's exactly what we want to see. Because coaches, if they've got an official that moved, let's say that official moved 6 yards downfield, like 2 yards beyond the stake, and then the ball lands right at the stake, and they're going, how's this official know? He's not even lined up with that stake. So we're going to do ourselves a favor and get to the money line at the snap when it's a money line. Great job by this wing official.
Kurt,
Another
before you jump off of that one,
go ahead.
Just real quick, we also be advised though, because he's on the short end and they're coming towards him. I don't know if he can always get that money line here. You might have to let the play pass him by, and we have to rely on the line judge here to assist.
You know, I will admit, Bates, we're putting ourselves at risk, but it should be some fairly unique situations. But there's no doubt, as a wing, being ahead of the ball carrier is more risk than being behind. I totally agree with that. And I think what's important is you need to know when you're doing this, you're committing yourself, and you need to be aware that safety is the number one priority as well. That you got to be able to get back and away when that ball's coming at you. And I'm not sure that there's always an answer to which direction that is, but certainly having those chains back is a critical piece. This even makes it worse because you got players behind you.
Yeah, when you're in the team box area is where it comes into play.
Yeah, it's certainly a risk. So in this case, we've got a similar situation. We got a money line. It's 4th down. Now we're in B territory. 4th down. Our wing immediately gets to the line to gain. I love it. Both wings are there. The near wing is also lined up right at that line to gain stake. We talk about when it's not a money line situation, don't do this, because now you can see the position of our line judge is now exactly what Bates was talking about. We've now got an out route that's going to be in his belly. This is why we want you at the line of scrimmage on all other downs. In this case, we've forced the wing into a critical money line position, and he's going to have a pass in his direction. So this is not we try to set ourselves up with odds of doing this the best we can. And this one, it's just a tough deal. We want the money line, and now we're going to have a tight end right in our belly. This wing does a great job in seeing the pass information, getting back. Might be a tough catch, no catch ruling, but again, we're trying to play some odds and get to that line to gain when we can. So this happens to be, so now we're going to talk about what to do when the line to gain is we actually have a spot. So here, this near wing, I think he moves to the line to gain. He's going to come crashing in. He's got a great spot. The line to gain is actually that 35-yard line. We got the wing coming in, killing it. Unfortunately, the wing hands the ball to the umpire, and the umpire puts it down. And now they're looking at it, and now there's some confusion. The referee's not sure what we got. Now he's going to signal first down. Chains, let's move. My point here is, I think if this wing comes in and says, I've got the spot, he's killed the clock, he's going to put the ball on the ground, he's going to stay with it, he's going to inform the referee that we're close, and let this thing develop. I think maybe the referee's got his eyes on some trouble in the backfield there. Don't just assume that everybody knows what's going on, especially when you're this close to that line to gain. We would talk on our crew about, hey, you might want to commit one way or another when you set this ball down, wing. Don't put the nose of that ball a half inch from the edge of that white line, which then requires the chains to come in. Let's commit, put the ball down so that it's clearly beyond that line or it's short of the line. It's going to be it's either going to be a first down or it's going to be another down. In this case, I can't remember if this is third down or not. But it looks a little clumsy to hand the umpire to put the ball down when you're standing right there. So just a reminder, wings, put it at your feet. Umpire, give the ball to the wing so he can put it at his feet. All right, now we're going to have third down in A territory. Again, I want this near wing and the far wing. Move that 1.5 yards to the line to gain state. Immediately, go there at the snap. You can officiate back if necessary. Stop clock, comes in hard, confident. All that's good. I would just like to see him at the line to gain state and stop. What did I have on this one? Same forward progress. Much forward progress. Oh, this is the coach gave me these. He's saying, look, here's the line to gain state. Where's your wing at? The near wing had it wrong because he's not at the line to gain state. He pointed out that far wing, the head linesman, was right where he needed to be to see this ball get to that point. He comes in, but the near wing comes in short. And I think they ended up using the near wing, and so the coach was upset about that. He says, look, you guys are in perfect position at the top. Why wouldn't that guy rule on this? Not that we need to do everything coaches say, but similar third down, get to the line to gain state as quick as we can. All right, I want to talk a little bit about coming out. I'm guessing the game's going to start here pretty quick. Coming out, money line. The money line is the goal line now, and this ball is snapped inside the 5. Wings, that is your goal line. There should be some communication with the referee. The referee is going to move to the end line. Wings, I want you to immediately go to the goal line and officiate from there. You can see at the top of the screen, this wing goes back to the goal line and then officiates forward. Get to the goal line, and then you can just officiate like normal. There's not a whole lot of difference what you're seeing from the 3-yard line versus the goal line. So go ahead and step to the pylon, watch the action. That next spot is not a critical one, but having that goal line threatened would be. So get to the goal line inside the 5. Now I'm going to show you this. I've shown this play a couple times. Crazy play. This actually is a Demetrio white hat play. You see him hustle in there and say, I've got him right here at the 1-yard line. This is a tough play. So what happens here is we're going to snap it from the 5. So I'm not sure who has the goal line. There may have been some communication. In this case, George may have said, hey, I'm going to take this goal line. And sure enough, this fumbled snap is possessed or picked up or still bobbled at that 1 yard line mark. This is a crazy, tough ruling. I've watched this a dozen times, and I'm still not sure that George got it right, that it wasn't a safety. But he comes in hard, strong. A lot of times that's what we need to do is be confident in what we've got.
You got a kickoff going on, just so you know.
All right, I think I'm about done. I don't want that one anyway. Let's one more here. Actually, not one more. This is a similar play. Wing, get to the goal line. See, you can see him hesitate. He takes a step, but doesn't go ahead and commit. I think we should just go ahead and commit. Get to the goal line. Don't stop. There's another one. Might have had his knee on the ground. Wings, be aware. All right, I think that's all I'm going to do for tonight. Thanks for joining me tonight. Think money line. Oh, here's one where this wing comes in way too fast. Stay wide. Don't come in until the play's over. All right, we'll end with that. Have a good week. Thank you guys for joining.